It's been a dream season for Ole Miss. The Rebels enter Saturday having gone 9 straight games, allowing opponents to score no more than 20 points, which is easily the longest active streak in the nation. Unbeaten heading into this one, and so Tom Rinaldi is there covering all things Ole Miss. Joining us from Baton Rouge. Tom, how has Ole Miss handled its success this season so effectively?
And impressively, too, Sarah, when you consider 7-0 for the first time in 52 years. The last time they got off to this kind of start, they went all the way to 10-0 and a share of the 1962 National Championship. That's quite a time ago. Really, a lot of credit goes to this coaching staff and Coach Hugh Freeze trying to instill in the players this notion of existing week to week, not reading your press clippings, just focusing on each week's challenge. It's a message Freeze delivers each and every week to his team.
I just think the whole key to who we are this year is remain grounded in the process, in the journey, as we call it here, and that is simply today has a life of its own. And what am I doing today to make sure we're prepared for Saturday night in Death Valley? And if we're good enough and play well enough, we'll deserve to win it.
Talk so much about how dominant this defense has been. 7 touchdowns surrendered in 7 games so far this season. But Bo Wallace has also done a very good job. No turnovers in SEC play so far this season. Another big key to this great start to the season for the Rebels.
That has been huge for them. Coach Freeze and several Rebels, Tom, point to their last visit to LSU as a turning point for this program. Why?
Isn't too often that you go back in your history and you point to a defeat and say, that was important for us. That was something that we can build on. But that's what Hugh Freeze and several players did point to, Sarah. The 41-35 loss a couple of seasons ago when the current group of seniors visited Death Valley. And ultimately, when they were sophomores, they believed they learned lessons when they were outmanned at nearly every position on paper, but hung in that game through offensive and defensive scheme and through fortitude. Bo Wallace said it was a moral victory that helped serve as a foundation 2 years later to get off to this kind of run. There were 8 players who started in that game 2 years ago, Sarah, who will start or play significant minutes in this game. That pointed to as a very important step along the journey toward this wonderful season so far in 14 for the Rebels.